Hi, my name is Carl. If you're watching this, you either know me and are supporting me in my treatment process, or you have, for a number of reasons, done a search on hepatitis C and come across my video. Whatever that reason is that you're here, thank you for supporting me, and I hope that I can provide information and hopefully some education about hepatitis C that will be beneficial to whoever's watching this video. I am beginning the process of hepatitis C treatment. I took my first shot 2 days ago, and before I get into that what it's been like for the last couple of days, I'd like to give you a little bit of history. I was a dependent substance abuser for about 20 years, and in 1995, I believe that I obtained hepatitis C through intravenous drug use. I have been in a recovery program since November 22nd, 1995, and have since abstained from drugs and alcohol. Since that time, I was diagnosed with hepatitis C in 1998 after experiencing some fatigue and muscle aches that were pretty debilitating for me at first. And I tried the treatment. Back then, the success rate was only about 20%. And because of some side effects, the doctor and myself thought it was a good idea perhaps to wait a while and see what new medications came out. Over the last 12 or 13 years, I've had little bouts of fatigue and muscle ache, usually when I would rest for a day and sometimes two, I would begin to feel better. Over the last 4 months or so, the intensity had increased as well as the time frame with which I would feel bad. So I went to the doctor, had some blood work done, had my viral load taken, as well as a liver biopsy. It was my second one. There was a lot of anxiety for me to have that second biopsy done. The first one was extremely painful for me, and I swore at that time I would never do it again. And I'm glad that the second one turned out the way that it did, because I absolutely felt nothing, and it was a shame I had to go through what I went through the first time, but we'll let that go. Um, for those of you that don't know what hepatitis C is, hepatitis C is a bloodborne pathogen, and it is contracted through blood-to-blood contact only. You can attain hepatitis C through IV drug use, through manicure tools, through tattooing, through coming into contact while you are bleeding with someone who has hepatitis C who is also bleeding. Blood transfusions previous to, I believe, 1992, and I could be mistaken about that year, do the research. If you become educated in this, you're just going to have more knowledge, and knowledge is that empowering tool that offers us some relief. In challenges that I faced over the last month and a half or 2 months in coming to terms with the reality that I was going to begin this treatment, there are several things that I had to contend with, that being the parent of a 16-year-old son, and living in a home and having to take care of finances, having a career, and just the coming to terms with the reality that I may become sick. It's ironic that because I put a needle in my arm, close to 20 years ago, I now have to put a needle in my stomach or my leg in order to treat and manage the illness that I attained in the first place. I'm planning on doing a series of videos to document my treatment, and my treatment is going to last 7 months. I plan to do weekly updates, and as part of this process, I am going to document both my weight and my diet, my appetite, my mental status, my physical status. I'm pretty much going to walk through the whole treatment process as it unfolds. I I have to say that the process in and of itself of preparing to do the treatment was a pretty stressful challenge in and of itself. Making sure that, one, I was spiritually and cognitively, mentally ready, emotionally prepared. Those are things that are highly beneficial when we begin the treatment. I do know that if I'm not prepared, then I'm pretty much setting myself up for a rough time. I have to go into this with a positive attitude. And it was a little bit difficult. There were days where I felt sorry for myself. There were days that I wanted to fall inside the closet and lock myself in. There were days that I wanted to run and not do the treatment. And those are normal emotions. When it came right down to it, though, I do have a desire to live. I have a desire to watch my children and my grandchildren grow. And pretty soon go through the process. And hopefully everything will come to a place where you'll accept and understand the benefits that are available. Today's statistics are about 80% for success rate, and I'm willing to go through whatever it is I have to go through in order to make myself a little bit more healthy. I began this process about 2 months ago. I had experienced about 3 or 4 months of fatigue and muscle aches, and that was usually it would only last a couple of days. This went on for a couple of months. And I went to the doctor and got some blood work, and my viral load had risen from 1 million, which is a low number, up to 5.5 million, which is a high number, but not significantly severely high. And all the viral loads, when you hear viral load, it is not anything more than a baseline. It's an indicator of when you start your treatments, your viral load, if treatment is being successful, will decrease. And from there, I went on and had a biopsy done. It was my second biopsy. The first one was a catastrophe. I felt every bit of it and swore that I would never do it again. It took a lot of faith and a lot of surrender for me to go through with the second one, and I'm really glad I did it because I felt nothing this time. The doctors and the nurses were absolutely great, and it was a process that I really didn't need to have fear of, but you have a reference point and you run with it. So my genotype is 1A, and that is today the most common genotype of hepatitis C. There are several different types of genotypes. My biopsy confirmed stage 2 moderate scarring. There are 4 stages in the process of hepatitis C, and stage 3 becomes a significant damage condition, and stage 4 is critical. So it was determined in speaking with the doctor that now would be a real good time for me to consider trying treatment before it got any worse, especially since I was having the symptoms that I was having. I'm taking the triple therapy. There are 2 different types of triple therapy that are available out there. If you have insurance, they will probably give you the PEG interferon along with the ribavirin and add that to, I believe it's Incivit or Incivit. And if you're attaining any type of assistance for the medications and you don't have insurance, then the regimen of treatment is going to be almost the same. It's going to be the Pegasus interferon and the ribavirin, but it will be what will be added to that is boceprevir. I am taking the boceprevir. I've been unemployed for a little while, working very little. I am a drug and alcohol counselor and a mental health therapist. I've been doing what I've been doing since I've been drug-free. I went to school and started working in the field as soon as my recovery began. The medications are the purpose of the medications is to attack the virus and prevent its replication. And that third component of the Incivit or the boceprevir is the component that changed kind of the ball game with regard to success rates because in the past they were able to kill the virus, but it would replicate, it would continue to replicate, and that's where the problems came in. The medications out now not only kill the virus, but they kill its ability to duplicate. The process of beginning treatments was rather difficult. There were a lot of things to prepare for, both spiritually, emotionally, physically, making sure that I was as prepared as I could be. And in my mind, I wasn't prepared enough, but it is what it is. I came into it, and before I began the treatment, I was confident that everything is going to be okay, and I'm going to go through the treatment and see what happens. When you are ready to begin treatment, the way that it was done for me was that the medication was ordered and pre-approved, and then a nurse was sent to my home to train me on the injections. There are two types of injections out there. One is through a syringe, and the other one is through a type of pen injector, which is what I'm doing. I began my treatments day before yesterday, and the nurse arrived to train me, and I took my shot about 5:45 in the evening. And about 20 minutes, 30 minutes after I took the shot, I could feel a lightheadedness coming on. It was nothing overwhelming at all. I sat on the couch and watched some TV. About 3 hours after that first shot, the first thing I noticed was I got a chill. And it was a chill that was enough to get me upstairs, get underneath some blankets just to stay warm. And what that transpired to was a headache, not severe, but it was consistent and moderate, to say the least. I was going back and forth from having hot flashes to chills, cold sweats. Body aches were really bad. That continued on for about 36 hours. I woke up this morning and the pins and needles going throughout my body were pretty much gone. I still have nausea, which became more profound when I began the pill aspect of medication than it was with the shot, which I don't know if that's consistent with what other people might express. Everybody is different with regard to their treatment. It's believed that a third of the people will have none to minimal, and none is rare, but minimal is a third of the people who obtain treatment or who accept treatment. And then the second third of the people will experience some significant side effects. We'll go through that later. The third group of people will experience debilitating side effects and have to discontinue treatment for a number of weeks. So, here I am, and it is week 1. When I took my shot, I wrote on Facebook that I had 27 shots to go and 4,816 pills, which seems like a lot. And the way that I'm going to do that is I use that as a stance of humor that gets me through it. I'm doing this one pill at a time, one shot at a time, and I'm going to contend with whatever side effects I have as they come along. I began a community forum on Facebook, and if you have Facebook, all you have to do is type in a search box for Facebook, type in hepatitis C, knowledge is power, and if you get to that page, then just like the page, and any updates or any information on hepatitis C will then be forwarded to your page. You can put it on your public, you can keep it private, it's completely up to you. So for today, I feel pretty good. I intended on doing a little bit more education and information prior to beginning the treatment. It just didn't work out that way. The week before I started treatment, in that week, I lost about 10 pounds, and it's stressful. I'm not gonna lie to you. Anyone that says they experience this without any emotional or thought processes that are negative, I would want to meet it. So this is week 1, and I'm planning on doing this regardless of how I feel. I'm gonna do this at least once a week, and
If you have any questions, just get on the Hepatitis C Knowledge is Power page, and all you have to do is type in a comment, type in a question, and I'll help you find the answers. If I don't have the answers, I will help you find the answers. For me, that's a benefit not only to individuals seeking information, but it's a benefit to help me get through this process. So thanks for watching, and we will see you in about a week. I'll let you know how I'm doing.